Alright YouTube, what has got us high to our 5,000 years today, bringing another Runescape 3 quest guide. Today's quest is Zogre Flesh Eaters. I can start this quest by talking to Grish, who's located in Jigig. This is a place just located south of Castle Wars. To start this quest, I should complete the quest Jungle Potion and Big Chompy Bird Hunting. It would also help if I had the following skills of 30 range, 30 fletching, 4 smithing, 8 Herblore and 20 strength. I also must be able to defeat a level 111 foe. Just to say, the official difficulty of this quest is only at intermediate. It's really actually not a hard quest at all, I feel. This quest is also branded as a long quest, however I really don't think it is a long quest. Hopefully we should be able to get through it in about 15 to 20 minutes. Now I want to start off by pointing out that there's been a lot of poor guides made on this quest and also on the internet. For example, Wiki, RuneHQ have not quite got this right. If you want to use range, then you need to bring these items. You need to bring nails of some sort. Obviously the higher nails you choose, then the arrows are going to be more stronger. If you bring bronze nails, then you're only going to land up creating bronze arrows, whereas if you bring rune, then you're going to have rune arrows. Make sure though that you're able to equip them. To make the arrows, you're also going to need some feathers. You're going to need a bowstring to actually create the bow, and you're also going to need some wolf bones. So that's nails of any type, some feathers, wolf bones, and then you're also going to want a bowstring. If you do use range, the advantage of it with this method of creating a bow and new arrows is that it's twice as easy to defeat the monster at the end of level 111 foe. Whereas if you don't, I'm actually probably going to use melee. Right, okay, so now that's that out the way. Other items that you're going to want to do, I've just got an emergency teleport just in case I fuck up here. Got some food for the foe, also got myself a prayer pot, however, I've not recharged my prayer, which is kind of stupid of me. I'd also recommend some good combat gear, or decent enough combat gear anyway, to try and defeat a level 111 foe. I would also highly recommend a Ring of Dueling, just so you can teleport to Castle Wars. Alternatively though, you can just use the Yanille Lodestone. Okay, so let's get this quest started and let's talk to Grish. Skip through the first wee 2 bits of chat and then you can select option number 3, what are Zogres. Then you're going to select option number 4, can I help in any way. Then select option number 2, okay, I'll check things out and then report back. And then select option number 1, yes, I'm really sure. Then Grish is actually going to give you some food and some super restore potions as well. We shouldn't need these though. So now we're going to actually go to the east a bit, and then you're basically going to see this barricade here. We're now going to talk to the Ogre guard who's guarding the barricade, and basically we want to going to get through this barricade. So talk to the Ogre, and the Ogre will destroy a bit of the barricade, and now we are going to go and climb over the barricade, the wee bit that the Orge guard has destroyed. Now once we're in here, there are some medium sort of level monsters. If you do, obviously go ahead and pray. I don't need to, but I know because the requirements for this quest are kind of low, some lower level players might be wanting to do this quest. So what we're going to do is we're going to run in an easterly direction until we get to the entrance of a cave. Climb down the stairs, and then once you're down the stairs, what you're going to want to do is run in a northwesterly direction until you get up into the northwest corner. Now unfortunately I'm getting attacked, but don't worry about that. You'll sort of enter into a wee cutscene here, and then basically you're going to see this skeleton over here. It's also going to show you the tomb, which we'll be looking at in a second. So, okay, so come over here and search the broken lectern, and then basically you'll find this torn page, and then you're going to search the skeleton. Then the skeleton is going to come to life, so we're going to have to kill this skeleton. Shouldn't be too difficult whatsoever. Then pick up the rune backpack. You're then going to open up the rune backpack, and then you're going to get some items out of it. You're going to get yourself a knife, some rotten food, and dragon in tankard. After that, then come around to the other side of the coffin. It doesn't actually matter what side of the coffin, I'm just getting away there from the monster. What you're going to do is you're going to search the Orge coffin. You're going to have to use your knife to open this up. So select option number 1, 4 slot with knife from your tool belt. However, I actually have one in my inventory. And then basically your character is going to struggle to get it open, but eventually, hopefully, they will be able to get it open. If for some reason you fail, your strength will be lowered by 1 for a second. Then what you're going to do is search the coffin, and you're going to get given this, a black prism. So from here what we're going to do is we're going to teleport out to Yanille. So if you do need to use the lodestone, get to a safe place in here. Unfortunately, because I'm getting attacked right now, I'm just going to use my Ring of Dueling, and then from Castle Wars here, just run directly east. Alright, okay, so once you arrive into Yanille, I'm arriving in from the west side, what you want to do is go to the pub. The pub is located in the southwest corner of Yanille. Enter into the pub and then you're going to see the bartender. What you're going to want to do is go to your inventory and then use the dragon in tankard on the bartender. And then basically the bartender is going to give you some information, basically that it belongs to someone who was killed and they were last seen at the Mage Guild. So from here what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to the Mage Guild, so just exit out of the bar and then run east. And this large building here in the middle of Yanille is the Mage Guild. So you're going to come round to the front door here and then you're going to ring the bell. And then this person is going to appear, so we're going to talk to them. Then select option number 1, I'm here about the Zogres. And then basically you're going to show the prism and the torn page to the wizards. And then the wizard's going to be how interesting. Then the wizard is going to give you some options, but we just exit out of there. And then we're going to go to the building just to the north here of the Mage Guild. It's this house looking building here, beside the wheat and beside these sort of sell things. Open up the large door and then go into this building. There's probably a man, there's a piano downstairs. We're going to climb up the ladder and then there's going to be 2 rooms. We're going to go into the room at the far end with a double bed and a person in it. We're going to enter into the room and we're going to talk to the person, Sithik. Then you're going to select option number 3, do you mind if I look around? Then basically Sithik is going to moan and say no you can't, but we're going to do it anyway. So first of all search the cupboard and you're going to find a book. At this stage, if you don't have any free inventory slots, then I would recommend that you free up a few inventory slots. You can just eat these chickens. Then search the drawers, and then you're going to find some charcoal and some papyrus. You're also going to find a book of portrait, and then come around here and then search the wardrobe as well, and then you're going to find a book. So out of all that, you should obtain 3 books, a piece of papyrus, and a piece of charcoal. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to read through all the books, so basically it's just going to pop up in the chat at the bottom here, only take you a few seconds. And then basically you're going to use your torn page, which we found earlier on the book of necromancy, and then basically you're going to find out that torn page is an exact fit into that book. So now we're going to need to get a portrait of this guy, so we're going to use the papyrus on Sithik in bed, and then basically this is us drawing a portrait. And there we go, you're going to complete a portrait. So what you're going to do is now examine it, and it's now going to say a realistic charcoal portrait of Sithik. Make sure it is realistic, because if it's not, then it's not going to be accurate and the bartender isn't going to accept it. If for some reason it isn't realistic, usually if you have lower than 20 crafting, then there's a possibility that it might not be. Just again go over here, search the drawers, and you'll get another piece of charcoal and papyrus. So with this portrait, now we're going to head back to the bar. Okay, so once you're back in the bar, you're then going to use the portrait on the bartender. And then you're going to show the innkeeper, and basically the innkeeper is going to be quite interested and you can start some talk. So he will then sign the portrait, so if you look at it now, it's now been signed by him. So after this we're going to head now back to the Mage Guild. Once you re-arrive back at the Mage Guild, you're going to ring the bell again, and then you get talk to the person who pops up. Again, talk about the Zogres. Select option number 3, I have some items that I'd like you to look at. And then you're going to show this person all the books, or one of the books anyway. And then basically they're going to take some of the items off you, however in return they're going to give you a strange potion. So with this strange potion we're going to have to head back into the house just north of the Mage Guild and go and in a sense give it to Sithik. So enter into the house, climb up the ladder again, head back into Sithik's bedroom, and then what you're going to try to do is use the potion on Sithik. Then Sithik is going to deny and doesn't want the potion, so what you're going to do is going to use the potion on the cup of tea just sitting on the drawers to the side of the bed, and then there you go, that's you entered it in there and that will have an effect. So to activate that effect, what we're going to have to do is we're actually going to have to leave the room and we're going to have to climb down the ladder. Then we're going to have to climb back up the ladder, and then hopefully if this has worked, Sithik will have turned into a Zogre. So now that Civic is turned into a Zogre, what we're going to do is we're going to continue through the chat. Now you'll need to go through all the options to find out all the information. And then once you've gone through all the options, that'll be us completed that part, and basically Civic is going to admit to being a member of HAM. So now we're going to return back to Grish, so I'm going to use my Ring of Dueling. If you want to use your Yanille Lodestone teleport, then do that. Okay, and once you arrive back in Jigig, what you're going to do is talk to Grish. And then you can select option number 1. I found out who's responsible. And then Grish is going to give us a key. So this is the bit where some people get confused at. We're going to talk to Grish again. And then you're going to select option number 2. There must be an easier way to kill these Zogres. And then basically Grish is going to explain to us how we make the bow. So for this part we're going to have to come and chop down one of these Achey trees. Then with the logs, what we're going to do is we're going to go into craft, select knife, and then we're going to select an unstrung comp bow. You're then going to make an unstrung bow. That's going to use the wolf bones, and then you're going to string it up. So now we've created a comp Orge Bow. Now to make the arrows, again we're going to have to chop quite a lot of log. So once you've chopped down a log, then you're going to select it, and then you're going to change these into arrow shafts. Once you've got a similar amount of arrow shafts to nails, what you're going to do is use the arrow shafts on the feathers to create headless arrows. And then once you've made them, you're going to use the nails on these headless arrows. And then that is going to create us some mithril arrows, or they're called actually in this case mithril brutal. So now that we've done that, we're now ready to go and fight this foe. So if you have to go back to the bank, go do that, go to Yanille, go to Castle Wars, and then once you are ready, you're going to head back west. We're going to head through this barricade and we're going to head back down into the cave. So over this barricade here, and then run in an easterly direction, and then climb down the stairs. From here just head west this time, and then basically come to these Orge stone doors. This was the reason you were given the key, so as long as you have the key in your inventory they will open up. And then once you've came through the 2 doors, basically going to climb down these stairs. Now for this, I'm actually going to try out some range here, see how well it works. If it does work well, then obviously use this. If it doesn't, I might try melee as well. But what you're going to do is once you get down them stairs, you're going to run in a northeasterly direction until we get to something that we can search, which should be located up here. Yeah, as you see the stand. So run up here and you'll see a stand. Search this stand, and then basically this is going to bring up the 111 foe, which is actually level 58, which is quite strange. But as you can see, I'm hitting a lot of zeros even with this special range technique. So what you're going to do is try and kill it. This has got really high defense, however it doesn't hit very high at all, so I don't think there's much need for me to bring food whatsoever. If you are struggling, of course, you should have your super restore potions, which might help you out a little. I've now changed out to whip to see if that makes much of a difference, but it doesn't really overlay, to be honest. I think overall this monster just has a really high defense level and not a very good attack, so it shouldn't be too hard of a fight. However, it might just take quite a long time, so I'm going to speed this part up. And once you actually finally kill the foe, what you're going to get is you get some drops. I'd recommend picking all these up. Make sure you pick up the Orge artifact. So once you've got the kill, we're going to have to teleport back to Grish now. Again, I'm going to use my Castle Wars. You can actually go back through the cave, I think, if you want to. Or again, you can use the Yanille Lodestone. And once you arrive back in Jigig, we're going to talk to Grish. And then you're going to say option number 1, yeah, I have them here. So you're basically going to show the artifact, which we got from killing that boss. And then there we go, that is the quest complete. She's going to be happy with you, and then she's going to give you the quest points and the reward. So congratulations, quest complete. 1 quest point. You can now make a brutal arrows and cure disease potions. You get 2000 range XP, 2000 fletching XP, 2000 Herblore XP, and you also get 2 treasure hunter keys. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adios.